Okay, so to do a Roman numeral analysis of an entire line of music, we're going to start with the first chord. First of all, we're in the key of G major because we have one sharp. First chord that I see is a G, B, D, and G. It could be a G, B, D chord because those are all three notes that I have. So since G is the first scale degree, it's a 1 chord. And since G is also the lowest note that I have, it's in root position. So I just write 1 and I go on. I have a G, a B, a D, and another G. This is very similar. It's actually the same chord. So this is also a 1. D, A, D, F sharp. It could be a D, F sharp, A chord, which is exactly what that is because those are all the notes that I have within this chord. D is the 5th scale degree in G, which means that it is a Roman numeral 5. D, F sharp, A is a major triad. And since D is my lowest note, it's in root position and I can go on. E, G, B, and another E. E, G, B is its own chord. E is the 6th scale degree in G major, so it is a 6 chord, and E up to G natural is a minor third. So you have the root, minor third, and perfect fifth, which makes this triad minor. So it's going to be a minor 6. And again, since E is the bottom note and E is also the root, that it is in root position, so you have a minor 6 in root position. Going on to the next chord, a B, an F sharp, a B, and a D. It could be a B, D, F sharp chord, which is all three notes that I have here. And B is the 3rd scale degree. So B, D, F sharp, we have, it's actually a minor third because B up to D is a minor third, B up to F sharp is a perfect fifth. So it's a minor third. And since the B is the lowest note, it's also the root, I'm in root position, so you have a minor 3. A minor 3 is not as common, but in this particular situation, that's fine. Usually it'd be a 1-6, but you need to double check your notes. Minor 3 is the correct answer here. E, G, B, and another G. E, G, B are the 3 notes that I have, and again, the E chord was a 6. And since the E is my root and the E is also the lowest note that I have, it's in root position. The next chord that I have, a D, F sharp, D, A. D, F sharp, A. That's a Roman numeral 5. Since D is the lowest note that I have, it's in root position. I don't need to write any more note or any more numbers. G, G, D, and B. G, B, D. Note how I'm trying to figure out each chord. I'm basically starting with the first note that I have. Going up a third is B. Going up a fifth is D. It's basically each line. So if I look and see G, B, D is the notes that could make that first chord, are those all 3 notes that I have here? Yes, it is. So that's the chord that I'm looking at. G is a Roman numeral 1 in the key of G. So I'd write major 1. And since G is the lowest note that I have, it's in root position. The final chord that I see here is a G, D, and a B. So again, a G, B, D chord is a 1. Now, there's more to it. It goes on a little bit further, but what they're asking for is the cadence. The cadence actually happens right here on this fermata. Because it's a long note, it's a pause. So what I look at is I look at this final chord is a 1 chord. The chord right before it is the cadential chord, so you're going a cadence to this finalized chord. So I have a 5 going to a 1. Both of these chords are in root position, which means that it could be one of 2 things. It could be an authentic cadence. It could be either an imperfect authentic cadence or a perfect authentic cadence. So for an imperfect authentic cadence, they need to be inverted. Are either one inverted? No, they're not. And then the last thing is, they can both be in root position, but in order to be a perfect authentic cadence, the soprano needs to end on the tonic. Well, the tonic is G. Does the soprano end on tonic? No, it does not. So this is an imperfect authentic cadence. So my label would be an I, A, C. Both of these have to be in root position, and the soprano needs to end on tonic. It would have had to be G to be a perfect authentic cadence. Since they're both in root position and the soprano did not end on the root or the tonic, then it's an imperfect authentic cadence. And then you would go on for the remainder, and again, your next cadential point would be here on this fermata, and so on down when you look at the rest of the assignment.